talk about how to deal with technical terms using the substitute word technique. To use this technique, we need to make a very simple assumption at the beginning, that images are easy to remember. But a lot of times we have abstract information, so when you have a technical term, you don't always know what it means because it's a technical term, and it's not easy to visualize. For example, if I give you a word like pen, you know what a pen looks like. But there are other words that are harder to visualize, like the word happiness or freedom, or some other technical term that you look at, maybe you're reading and you're like, I have no clue what this means, I got to look it up. Now, once you look it up, you need to commit that definition to memory. How do you go about doing that? And you can do it using the substitute word system. Those new terms that you come across, those technical terms, it's almost like learning a new foreign language. So the substitute word technique will also help you learn a new language, but it'll also help you with dealing with technical terms. So let me give you some examples how to use this system. So let's say we had a Spanish word barco. Barco means boat. So what you can do is you visualize a boat with a dog standing on the boat, barking with lots of O's coming out of its mouth. Now, I know this sounds odd. Why did I come up with this weird visualization? Because I'm looking at the word barco, and I'm trying to take that apart and substitute words in there. So I take bark, B-A-R-C, and that sounds like the word bark, B-A-R-K, and when I always associate dogs with, barking, and the letter O will leave that on its own. So that's why we're visualizing a boat, because the definition is boat, with a dog standing on that boat, and it's barking, and there are O's coming out of its mouth each time it barks. Okay, that's going to represent barco. So the next time we see that word barco, we would try to recall this definition of it as a boat, because we would remember, oh yeah, that was the dog, it was on a boat, okay, and it was barking. So let's go over a few other examples just to give you an idea. What if we had a French word, maison, and the definition of this is house. You can picture a man building a brick house because he's a mason. So if you're already familiar with the English word mason, you can picture this person building a brick house, and that will help you remember. Again, we're substituting words here. Maison, we're substituting the word mason, and we're going to create this visual of someone building a brick house. That's how we're going to remember mason is house. Let's take a German word. This word is Fenster. Again, I'm probably not pronouncing that right. I'm not familiar with German, but the definition is window. So Fenster, when I see the word Fenster, I immediately substitute the word fencer. A fencer, like this image right here. And I want you to, because it means window, we want to imagine a window being attacked by a fencer in full costume. Now, I know, again, this is a little bit of a ridiculous, exaggerated image that we're trying to create in our head, but that will make it easier to remember, and that's the whole point of this. Or we could take an Italian word, like the word cappello, and this means hat. And we visualize a person wearing a baseball cap. So see cappello right there, I'm taking that word, I'm substituting cap for that. And then ello, I think of jello. So I'm visualizing a person wearing a baseball cap that's made entirely out of jello. Okay, so cappello, we're going to think cap, we're going to remember hat. And we could even add, again, ello is where we get jello. And the more ridiculous you make these images, the easier they're going to stick. So the substitute word system, this technique will help you deal with technical terms. It'll help you learn abstract information, because abstract information is hard to visualize unless you make a conscious effort to turn it into some kind of image. And this helps you learn foreign languages as well. So keep in mind, this is very, very important. Images are always going to be easy to remember. So if you can visualize technical terms by using the substitute word technique, that'll help you remember those terms. That'll help you get better comprehension as well when you're reading. If you have any questions on this webinar or any other topics dealing with comprehension or retention, feel free to get in touch with me directly. My email's on the screen right now. You could also reach out to me on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter. Thanks a lot for joining us.